Okay, dear students, so now since we have talked a lot about function and hopefully we have gained some general idea about the function, now is the time to talk about the graph of a function. Graph. I'm not going into typical definition, mathematical definition, because that becomes slightly difficult for non-mathematics people to understand. Let us get the idea about graph. Graph is basically a pictorial representation. But then we have also talked about something like rather we have also seen these type of pictures also. Even they are also talking about some kind of functions and so on. But that is not what we mean by graph. Okay, it's going to be a different kind of picture. So it's of course it's a pictorial representation. It's a pictorial representation. But then in this case, what we do, we draw x and y axis. Just try to recall your school days. Okay, let me just draw it over here also. Let me draw those over here. Fine. So this horizontal axis called as x axis, vertical axis called as y axis. And then we consider some markings. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, then -1, -2, -3 on this side, etc. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side, -1, -2 over here, and so on. Right? And then whenever we talk about any particular point as such, then it has got some coordinates. Okay, so 2, 3, -1, -4, whatever it is. Okay, what I will do, instead of drawing it this way, I will just use my graphing software, so you will get a better idea. Okay, so just to give you some better idea, let me go for graphing software. Okay, fine. Let me just slightly make some modifications. So that it will be easy for you to understand. Let me increase the size also. These numbers, so it will be easy for you to see those numbers. Okay, so I hope now you are able to see those numbers. You are able to see those axes, x and y. Okay, now what we can do is that let me consider one point. Okay, for example, suppose I am talking about a point. Let us show this point. Okay, let me just show these points. Yes, you are able to see some point over here. All right, now from this point, suppose you want, if you call this point as say P, let us call it P. Okay, this is just some notation that I am giving for the sake of convenience. This is my point P. Okay, now what do you mean by coordinates of this point? What one can do is that from that point you can go perpendicular downwards towards x-axis, and from this you go again in the horizontal direction to the y-axis. Wherever it is meeting those points, x and y-axis, they are called as the coordinates of the point. Okay, so again for your understanding, let me just draw those perpendiculars also. Let us talk only about this thing, only on x-axis. Okay, let us draw this perpendicular. Okay, so on the x-axis I have drawn perpendicular. You can see that it is meeting x-axis at point 3. So the x coordinate of this point is 3. Similarly, one can do the same job and you can draw perpendicular on the y-axis also. So where is it meeting? It is meeting y-axis at the point 4. So the coordinates of this point are 3 and 4. Okay, and similarly means you may consider different points. Okay, for example, suppose I have got a point over here, right? So I'm getting one more point over here. Oh sorry, this point is there but it is not visible. I'm sorry. Fine. So you can see there is a point over there also, and then one can do the same thing. Okay, means you can drop all those lines, right? So and let us see what happens where they are meeting x and y axis, etc., etc. Yes, so you can see that if I draw perpendicular on x axis, it is intersecting x axis at the point -4. And similarly, if you do this, if you do the same job, okay, and if you draw perpendicular on y axis, let us see it, where is it intersecting y axis? It is intersecting at -7. Okay, let me call this point, let us have some name for that point, say point Q, right? So point P is over there and point Q is over here. If you want, you can write down the coordinates 3, 4 and -4, -7. Okay, so whatever we have done over there, let me just try to show those over here. My P point was somewhere over here, so it's not now going to be very exact, but I'm sure you will get the idea. So its coordinates are 3 and 4. Because आप यहाँ से x जाते हो तो then it was intersecting x at point 3, and when you go from here to y axis, it was intersecting at point 4. Yes, you can see that. So its coordinates are 3, 4. Similarly, there is a point Q somewhere over here. Okay, this is a point Q over there, and its x coordinate is -4 and y coordinate is -7. That you can check. Similarly, you can consider a point over here, say R, you may consider a point over here S, and you can get their coordinates. Okay. Now the thing is that we are talking about graph of a function. Remember this. Finally, our aim is to understand graph of a function. And then I said it is basically the pictorial representation. But what we are going to do, actually speaking, we are going to draw all the points which satisfy your given function. And that basically is called as the graph of the function. So for example, if you write down y is equal to 3x plus 7, what we will consider, we will draw all points which satisfy this. For example, if I put x equal to 0, then my y is 7. So where is x? 0, 7. That 0, 7 point could be somewhere over here. When I put x equal to say -1, what is the value of y? Then I am getting y is equal to 4. Where is -1, 4? That point could be somewhere over here. So that way one can go on getting several points, and then if you join all these points by a smooth curve, in this case you will see that we get a straight line, then this straight line is actually the graph of y is equal to 3x plus 7. Let us get it on the graph. Okay, fine. So y is equal to 3x plus 7. Okay, let me draw that. Let me use a different color, say dark blue I am using. Fine. You can see that this is the graph that I am getting. Let me just remove other things because they are not needed at present. Yes, this is the graph of y is equal to 3x plus 7. Then you can talk about others functions also. Maybe suppose you talk about y is equal to let us say y is equal to 4 minus x. So when x is 0, where is y? Suppose you write down x equal to 0, then what is y? Y would be equal to 4 because 4 minus 0 is 4 only. So that 0, 4 point could be over here. Whenever y is 0, at that point x is 4. If you write y is equal to 0, then x would be 4. So that 4, 0 point is over here. And now if you go on getting several such points, yes, then you are getting something like this. So the graph would be something like this. Okay, let us get it on the graph paper itself. So 4 minus x, y is equal to 4 minus x. That is what I am writing. Fx equal to 4 minus x. Let me use a different color for that. Say green color, dark green color. And now you can see this is the graph of y is equal to 4 minus x. Now means I am sure you must have got some idea that whatever these functions I consider, 3x plus 7 or 4 minus x and so on, they are basically called as linear functions because x की जो degree है वो 1 है. I am not writing x square, I am not writing x cube and so on, nothing. Fine. So and you can see that we are getting straight lines over there. And remember this feature, whenever you are trying to get a function y is equal to some ax plus b, where a is a real number and b is a real number, then that graph is always a straight line. Okay, so on the graph itself I will give you some examples quickly, and then maybe we can stop over here. Say for example, y is equal to x plus say 3, right? Y is equal to x plus 3. As I said, you can see that it's a straight line that you are getting. Similarly, let me get one more graph for you. Y is equal to say 2 minus 7x. Okay, 2 minus 7x. Let me use another different color, say ash color or something like that. No, this is not. Yeah, this is the ash color. Okay, again you can see I am getting one more straight line. Or if you talk about, let us have one more function. Say y is equal to 7 plus 2x. Okay, let us use another color for that. Okay, you can see that I am getting one more straight line. Similarly, I had also talked about constant function. Just try to recall in the last video. So if you consider constant functions, what kind of graphs you are going to get, even that is very interesting. For example, if you write fx equal to 3, okay, let me use maroon color for that. If this is fx equal to 3, you are going to get a straight line which is parallel to x-axis. Okay, suppose you talk about fx equal to minus say 2, you can see that again you are getting a straight line which is like this. You may talk about fx equal to say 5.5, fine. So if you do that, you can see where you are getting a line. Finally, if you talk about fx equal to 0, then you are going to get a straight line which is along the x-axis. You can see that now along the x-axis you are getting that maroon colored line. Okay, so these are all these are some of the examples of linear functions where you are getting graphs as straight line, but not all the time the graphs will be straight line. Okay, the graphs are going to be curved, and that is what we are going to do. We are going to see those examples in the next video. Okay, thank you so much.